Cue music. We're all about class when it comes to pens, and we like to let it show. Welcome to Fountain Pen Radio, presented by FPGeeks.com. And now for your fountain pen enthusiast hosts, here's Eric and Dan. Gentlemen.
This is Brian Gray.
No, I'm going to start at the beginning.
Oh, I know, but...
Unless you want to read it, you can read it.
All three.
People are saying all three.
All right.
This is
awesome.
Fountain Pen Geeks Podcast, episode number 19.1 for Tuesday, April 3, 2012. We are recording live on Sunday, April 1st. Welcome to Fountain Pen Radio. This is Eric.
This is Dan.
Hey, Dan, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing, well, much better now. Who you got next to you?
This is Mr. Brian Gray.
Mr. Brian Gray.
Hey, guys.
How are you today?
I'm having a very strange deja vu.
But yeah,
Did
sounds like we've done this before.
Sounds like we have.
Did we just do this recently?
It was,
Thankfully, it was only like 3 minutes worth of show.
Well, yeah. Thankfully, the audience let us know.
Well, apologies, everybody.
Let's just jump right in there. What have you got for us, Mr. Smith, announcement-wise?
Well, over in iTunes, Geek of the Week podcast is up to 20 total ratings, all 5 stars.
Wow.
So thanks, everyone, for that. And the regular show is up to 44 ratings, still 5 stars, and we've got 2 new comments. Pin Pazzo says, Eric and Dan have put together a show that I look forward to every week. Thanks, guys.
But wait a minute.
And
when was that
yeah.
posted? Because I looked this morning and that comment wasn't there.
It says April 1st.
Okay, so was this a real comment?
Well, I don't know. I suppose there's a couple ways we could take that, isn't there?
What else we got?
Steven says, at first I thought this would be just another podcast that would probably fizzle
Almost
out.
did tonight,
you know, the
didn't
kind. You search and see the last update in 2009. These guys keep the action going nonstop and have made me appreciate certain pens which I would normally pass over, such as Twisby and Noodlers. I'm having a blast listening to the podcast and Geek of the Week. Please keep the action going. Hope to meet you at the next February LA Pen Show. And he says he loves the views and etc.
That was from Steven?
That was from
Steven, yes. We will be at the next LA Pen Show. In fact, I think all 3 of us will be at the next LA Pen Show, and you need to come find us and say hello.
Absolutely.
For sure.
There was something else I wanted to say, Twisby, Noodlers. No, let's continue.
All right, and we added a new feature at the website. The little Page Nation links at the bottom, they are now numbered, and you can skip around. Now, I noticed this when I would click on a tag or a certain category with more than 12 or 13 posts in it. I noticed there wasn't more than one page, like, say, for Twisby.
Well, right. Or like the awesome, or the podcast. Somebody just wrote the other day asking, how do I get to podcast number 1, 2, and 3? And so I would go to the podcast link, and it would list all of them except numbers 1, 2, 3, because I guess it was on page 2, and we couldn't get there.
Right. There was no link showing up for those.
So you fixed that for us.
I got all those to show up for tags and categories, and even like if you do a search. And then also if there's several pages, it'll list all of them by number, so you can say click straight to the 4th page. You don't have to keep clicking to the next page, click next page. It's just a lot easier. It's more user-friendly.
Fantastic. You did that all by yourself, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Right.
I'm so proud of myself.
You didn't even tell me about it. I just noticed it one day. So where does this come from?
And speaking of pen shows,
were we
next
speaking
one.
Of pen shows?
Well, we spoke at LA.
Oh, yes, we did. Okay.
The one going on this weekend actually was in Arkansas, the Arkansas Pen and I guess no longer watch show. Is that the case now?
I don't know that it's a watch show. Their website doesn't say watch, so we're going to call it the Arkansas Pen Show for now, and it's over.
And April 13th to the 15th is the Atlanta Pen Show. They're giving away 3 really awesome pens there. You guys definitely need to check out their website, and if your area, please check out that show and give us a little bit of feedback. Let us know how it goes.
I would like to find somebody who's at a pen show that I could call and speak with and like record the conversation for like a 5-minute little what's going on at the pen show. I didn't want to call a vendor, like I know the Andersons are there, but today's Sunday. It's got to be a crazy day there. Hey, Lisa, can I talk to you for 5 minutes? Well, yeah, but I mean, she would have said yes, but it's not really nice. Or Brian, you are a vendor at pen shows. Would you like somebody calling you and taking 5 minutes of your day on the busiest day of the pen show?
Well, honestly, I don't know the Arkansas show very well, but I'm assuming it's over by now. So by the time you guys are broadcasting in the evenings, usually the Pen shows are done. So yeah, that wouldn't bother me a bit. As long as you don't mind that I probably have a drink in my hand at the time, because that's typical after a Pen show.
If I would mind. Anyway.
And April 22nd is the Northern Pen show in the UK. May 3rd through the 6th is the Chicago Pen show, and familiar. We're all going to be there, aren't we?
We're all going to be at the Chicago. Yes, I'm going to be at the Chicago. I've already booked the trip. Everything's settled. I'm going to be there.
And I can drive there, so there's no reason I'm not going to be there. That's right.
You get to drive. Well, I got to drive to L.A.
So, and then is there like a little something going on after Chicago?
Camp Edison.
I heard about this.
Yeah.
Wait, there's something happening here?
This. Yeah. Well, it's your idea, Mr. Edison. Why don't you tell us about it?
I know.
He invites us to come to Milan after the Chicago show, and the specifics of what we'll be doing aren't very clear. I think he might want us to plow his 40 acres or something like that. So he's going to have yard work to do.
Yeah, well, once I heard that you guys were coming to the Chicago show, I said, if you want to, you're welcome to come back to, as Eric has called it, Camp Edison, and more than welcome to check out the shop. Maybe we'll do a broadcast. Maybe we'll do some, I don't know. I think we have some plans, but can we broadcast exactly what they are yet, at least specifically?
Well, I know we'll have a campfire. I know we'll do some camp songs, 100 bottles of ink on the wall, 100 bottles of ink. We got to go have some pizza. I've heard there's a really good pizza place.
There's an excellent place.
We don't know exactly what we'll be doing, but we'll be doing fun things all the time. And for those of you who want to send us care packages ahead of time, that's Fountain Pen Geeks, care of Edison Pen Company, P.O. Box 138, Milan, Ohio, 44846. And I will have that address on the show notes. Because, we need cookies, Oreos. We probably don't need pens or ink, but paper would probably come in handy.
That'd be all right.
I like oatmeal raisin cookies.
Oatmeal raisin for you. Okay. I'll do Chips Ahoy or Oreo or something like that.
I'll write this down, and we'll make sure that we, if it doesn't come in the mail, we will supply here.
See,
okay?
He wants us to do something, Dan. I don't know what. What about the poll question from last week?
Well, in case you don't remember, it was, as the first quarter of 2012 draws to a close, what's the status of your fountain pen and paraphernalia budget? And 27% said, budget? I'm supposed to have a budget? 22 said, I've spent a bit more than I thought I would. 18% said, I'm way over budget, and I blame FPGeeks. Sorry. At least let us know what you bought. And 12% says, I've spent just about what I had planned. 11% I've spent less than I expected. And 10% said, I've spent so much I can't even look.
Now, Mr. Smith, which one did you fall in? You don't remember?
Let's see, I can't remember. I think...
Mr. Gray, did you answer this? Well, you didn't spend. You don't spend. When you want a pen, you go make a pen.
I go make, or a lot of times I might work out a trade with someone too. So yeah, I mean it's kind of. I mean, I do love collecting pens, but honestly, I know this sounds crazy, but I rarely pay for them because I either make something that I like, or I will trade with someone.
On this show, Mr. Gray.
Well, I'm sorry, but keep in mind, I'm not trading for like anything that is incredibly valuable. I don't have access to things that you guys wouldn't. How's that?
Okay.
I don't know. He's probably keeping secrets. Do you remember where you were, Dan?
Does my grin look a little sly?
As always.
Never. I actually voted twice. I voted.
How is that possible? Don't tell me, because everyone will vote twice now.
I'm way over budget, and I blame FPGeeks.
Uh-huh.
My reasoning is I need this pen to do a review.
Okay.
And also, budget. I'm supposed to have a budget. I was clearly in that category. Rarely do I have a budget. It's sort of just a little slush fund, and I buy pens, restore them, use them, sell them, and that money I get from it goes back into the slush fund, and it's just a vicious cycle.
Yeah, I said I'm way over budget, and I blame FPGeeks.
Nice. So, do we got anything lined up for next week?
As far as a poll question, I think I have something in mind, but I'll talk about it when we get to the mailbag, because it actually came to my mind because of a comment we got via email.
Alrighty.
So we can skip that for now, and I'll get back into it when we get to our mail.
Sounds good.
gonna go through your the news at the site?
Absolutely.
What have you got?
First thing we saw this week was, now, do you guys know how to say this company's name?
Caran Caran.
Brian, do you
have
want
to be really careful with that N because we can't do the N. Caran d'Ache.
I've always said Karen Dosh, but I honestly don't know if that's right. I think that when I'm at a show and someone says Karen Dosh, I just say Karen Dosh too. I've just kind of adopted what everybody else says.
Okay. Karen
Dosh.
I'm not saying that I'm right, but I've always said Karen Dosh.
We'll get corrected. Someone will let us know how to do it.
Well, they've joined forces with this contemporary Chinese artist, Li Guangxing, and they're doing the 2012 Year of the Dragon pen. It's going to be offered in a fountain pen and a roller ball. There will be 888 individual pieces of each with an MSRP of $3,500 on the fountain pen, and street price, I saw it for around $2,800.
$2,800.
Yep, it is pretty cool looking. It's got black and red lacquer, very traditional dragon design, and it's cool, but it didn't really do nothing for me.
Yeah, it does nothing.
I do like it.
Okay, then
you
can talk about it.
I like the shape. I like the section, the way that it kind of swoops down from the barrel threads. And take a look at the stamp on the nib. I kind of like how, what is that? Like a mountain that's going up the nib. Overall, I mean, I do like the shape of it.
Yeah,
I think that the nib, like see the wings of the nib, and there's that inscription going up that kind of looks like a mountain, perhaps. I'm going to be the lone voice of dissension here. I love that pen.
Good. Somebody needs to love it.
Yeah.
But how many did they make?
Absolutely.
I forget the number. How many are they making?
888.
All right, so
I don't think I can work out a trade for this.
No, I
though.
was just going to suggest that.
I mean, yeah, $2,800. You know, I mean, and that's kind of the market that they go after. That high end market. It's, I don't know. It's okay. It doesn't do anything for me.
No, I'm going to let those go.
Something that is pretty spectacular though is Pelican's Makai limited edition. They call it the Mount Fuji and Cranes, and this thing is just decked out. I mean, I would actually love to be able to peel this off the barrel and have it as a print up on my wall. I mean, it's freaking gorgeous. But this one, let's see, how many of these did they make? We don't have any numbers on this. Actually, I couldn't even find a price.
88 pieces is what it's saying
really?
in the article that you wrote. If I can tease you.
Of course you can.
Oh,
That's
wow,
why we're
did.
here.
And completely overlooked that one.
That's all right.
But this is even more expensive than that Karen Dash. It's $4,100 MSRP, $3,200 street. I think a few of these are still available. I saw one on an Asian website that you can still order from.
Wow.
Sorry, I don't have the link for that.
I don't think anybody needs it.
This.
He likes this one
I
too?
do like this
Really?
a lot better. I like this. I'm saying I like this better than the Karen Dash.
Oh, because?
That is a nice looking pen. Well, I mean, first of all, Chinese lacquer versus Mach-E. I'm always going to go towards Mach-E.
I could see that.
Yeah.
The cool thing about this is, like, even the Pelican logo on the crown of the cap is done in Mach-E. So usually you don't see that. But
Do we have a picture of that?
No, we don't. I couldn't find one anywhere.
I thought somebody mentioned that in the comments. So that was mentioned only because it's written about. Is that what we're saying? It's in the article. It says it, but we didn't get a picture of it. That might be the one selling point of this pen for me. I'd like to see that Pelican logo with Mach-E. Not that I would. Did you mention a price? Here I am again with the prices.
$3,200 street.
Well, that's cheap. That is so affordable compared to where we're going now.
What? You mean this new one from Monte Grappa is out of your price range?
Just a little bit, yeah.
That doesn't sound like Monte Grappa. Actually in late March, Monte Grappa paired up with Paulo Coelho. Is that how you would say his last name?
Paulo Coelho.
Okay. They introduced the Alchemist fountain pen. And this comes in 5 different versions, the cheapest being a resin and sterling silver fountain pen that retails for $6,100. The most expensive being a solid gold fountain pen that is $105,000 for a single pen.
For a single pen.
And they are making several different versions between there. Sterling silver, one will represent fire, one water, air, and earth, and those will be $10,000 each.
Is Rocky involved in this one at all?
No, I don't.
You wanted to go there, huh?
All right.
Are they
sorry.
piston fillers?
I don't know, but I would doubt it.
I doubt it too. So $105,000 for a cartridge converter. Okay. It's not the cartridge converter that makes me not want to spend $105,000. No pen can possibly be worth $105,000. There's nothing you can do, even if it's solid gold. How much could it weigh?
There's only going to be 38 of those solid gold fountain pens, Eric.
Does it matter?
I don't know. To some people, it might.
I can't get my head around this one. Especially from Paulo Coelho, who's
he's the author of The Alchemist, and the book was released in 1987, and that's how many fountain pens and rollerballs in total they're going to release. So it's a pretty big deal. I've never read the book. Apparently, it's really popular. It's been translated into like
157? I don't know.
71 languages the book has been translated.
It's an extremely popular book, and it's not the only book he's written, but a $105,000 fountain pen seems to go against everything he's ever written. I don't know. I can't get my head around this. I can't.
That's kind of like Mont Blanc having that very, very expensive Gandhi pen.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of, not that I think Paolo is Gandhi, but it just doesn't match with what I thought of Paolo.
Yeah.
They picked the wrong person to make $105,000. They should have picked Queen Elizabeth. Then I would understand immediately $105,000. Okay, it's got the Queen's jewel on it or something. Who knows?
Not to get highly off topic, have you read The Alchemist, or has anyone read it?
I've read it a couple of times.
I've heard wonderful things. Do you recommend it? Just yes or no, and then we'll get back to pens.
Yes.
Do you recommend it, Eric? You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
That way we can talk about it. Otherwise,
I'll read it and then we'll talk about it.
Do check out the website if you haven't seen it. We've got a gallery of like 20-some really high-res images. Some of these are like 6-8 megabytes, so you could use these as wallpapers for your desktop if you really wanted to.
Yeah, and that would be free, right?
Absolutely.
Well, okay, forget the price. I'm sorry, we're going to talk about this pen for another minute. Forget the price. What do you think of the pen looks-wise?
Honestly, I like the resin version the best, and it's kind of intriguing. I would like to actually write with it and see what it felt like in the hand.
Okay.
But the other versions, the sterling silver is okay. The gold is just, gross.
Yeah, I mean, I don't particularly like the aesthetics of any of the pens, but the most expensive one is the one I like least looks-wise. And this is like... This is what they're going to do now. They're going to make very expensive, ugly pens. Is that what they're going to be known for? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be bagging on them.
They already are known for that.
Are they?
But
all right. So I'm not pointing anything out new.
Monte Grappa. I mean, they're that luxury, high-end jewelry pen brand. I mean, they're movie star people that represent their brand are called ambassadors. I mean, what? Come again?
No, I'm just...
Well, that's marketing. That's marketing.
They have stores in Abu Dhabi. I mean,
that's true. It's a whole.
They're ridiculous.
It doesn't surprise me that I can't get my head around it because it's a different world.
Yeah.
But doesn't Monte Grappa also have kind of like a regular line that is in the couple hundreds? I mean, I'm looking at some Monte Grappa pens that are like 250 and 350 and 400. So they're kind of covering all ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, but does anybody know off the top of their heads what is the most expensive Mont Blanc pen? Because we can talk badly about Mont Blanc too if we want to. But they have.
I can tell you what. Well, this is a good
topic. One of their skeleton pens, probably.
Okay, is it?
And what's that priced at?
50, 60.
1,000?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the most expensive pen you guys have ever seen
in real life?
No, just that you know of.
Oh, I saw an article, one that was covered in diamonds, and it was like over $1 million.
I think I did see something on that. I did see live. Have you heard of the Loimanche 9 Dragons pen? It's made out of solid jade.
Yes, you saw that?
Oh, yeah.
I did see that pen.
That was in L.A. Roger Cromwell had one.
Yeah, Roger has one, and I'm pretty sure that retails for like $250,000, which is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But man, it's crazy when you think about, this hobby can go from a Lamy Safari to ridiculous zone. You know?
Yeah.
Someone in chat saying that Aurora was the $1 million pen.
Okay.
And I think that's right.
If anyone wants to look into that jade pen, it's by Loimanche, and it's called the 9 Dragons, I believe.
Yes, but how many were made?
I think only like 88, not a lot.
88 $250,000 pens?
Hang on a second, because I just Googled it and I had it up, and it won't take me long. I'm sorry, there were only 10 pieces made worldwide, and Roger Cromwell had one in L.A. Amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Moving on.
All right.
Well, Schaefer has added a whole new range of pens to their lineup, the Prelude Signature. Now they have, the regular Prelude, but this is their Signature collection, and it has precious metal platings. There are 4 new pens. 3 of them come in at a retail price of $175, and the 4th one comes in at $225 because it's 22 karat gold plated on the cap.
When you say $175 and $225, you don't mean $175,000 or $225,000.
No.
Okay.
No, we're back.
I thought,
on Earth here.
We're back in reality now.
Yeah. But they look pretty nice until you get to the section. The section just reminds me of a cheap plastic molded Chinese pen, and it's really sad because I like the nib, I like the cap, I like the clip, I even like the engravings on, and especially let's see, which one is it? The pen with the ceramic coating and the palladium trim. I really like that one, but man, the section just turns me off.
Is it a plastic section?
I'm almost certain it is.
And is it from China? We don't know. We probably shouldn't say.
We don't know. I'm. It'd be a good guess.
It might be a cheap plastic China section.
I don't think Schaefer's made in the USA anymore, if that helps. But I'll give my comment on this pen. I think that the nib, to me, looks a little disproportionate to the rest of the pen. It looks a little small. It's like they put a little pen, or a little nib on a larger size pen. The ratio of the nib size to the rest of the pen and the pen body looks short to me. I'd like to see that to be longer.
You're right.
It looks like it's been shoved into the section deeper than it should be.
Well, we said,
if that thing...
The first time we talked about this pen, I think we called it stocky, the nib. The nib looked stocky.
Yeah.
But we said we kind of liked it.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I like the looks of the nib. If it was sticking out about 1/8 of an inch more, it would look more proportionate. I guess that I'd like to see it live. It's always hard to tell from photos.
Difficult, yes. The section might be metal.
I don't know when we're going to have a chance to do that. They're supposed to be out in Q1 of this year. I still haven't seen a release date for it, but at least we have prices now.
Right. And they've got something else that we have prices for.
Yeah, around that same time, we announced to everyone a new collection for their leather accessories. These were pen cases, portfolios, iPad cases, and things like that. We now have prices on all of those. Still no word on release date for these. The big case, it holds a full-size pad of paper, a single pen, business cards, stuff like that. It's going to retail for $165. Similar case that holds a smaller pad will be $95. They have, let's see, a 2-pen pouch for $50 and a single pen pouch for $40. And these are all retail prices.
And they look nice. They look nice.
They do
and
look
the prices are really, that's what you're paying these days for leather type things.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think they're a little high, but everybody's asking that kind of money for leather, so.
Yeah.
They look good.
Yeah, they're pretty nice.
And then?
this book. Oh man, Fountain Pens of Japan. We actually got to check out some of the pages of this while in LA, and it was available for pre-order. If you pre-ordered it then, you would get to take one of the proof pages with you. It would have been a great opportunity, but man, they want $350 for this book.
And I'm sure it's worth every penny of it. Especially,
I'm sure.
I'll tell you what, though, I predict that when this comes out and you want to buy it on Amazon, I'll bet you it's going to be the same price, if not more. I mean, wasn't Andy giving this as a discount at the show? I mean, this might be a $400 pen by the time it gets to retail.
Pen or book?
I'm sorry, a $400 book by the time it gets to retail. Sorry.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We don't have those kind of details, but I don't know that it's going to be at Amazon.
Well, wherever it's retailed. I guess that when I talked to Andy at the show about this, he was making me think that you can get it now for $350, and then later it's going to be more. So in other words, this was a pre-order special for the LA Pen Show. So and by the way, if people are looking at this and wondering how on earth can this be a $350 pen, or jeez, how am I doing this? $350 book. Trust me, it's probably going to be like 1.5 inches or 2 inches thick. It will be like the authoritative. And what's the other book by Andy Lambro that is also phenomenal?
The World.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, these are like the have-to-have books, I guess.
I have Fountain Pens of the World, and I did not spend $350 on that book. As I recall, it was expensive.
Yeah.
I think it goes for about $150.
Okay. To see, $150 I could kind of go for, but I'm not into Japan pens as much. I can't buy this book. But it's worth it.
Are you getting a price of $150 off of a used market?
No, I think
that's about all you can find it anymore, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean that's why I'm saying I'm wondering, like, if you go, I'm going to Amazon now,
Eric,
and
they're all.
I could swear I think I got it at nibs.com with
okay. It looks like Amazon is selling it for $130. 8 of them new at $129 and 11 used at $135. Yeah. Why is the used more expensive than the new? I don't know.
Don't ask me. $139. Yeah. But
I'm guessing that when this came out, though, it was more expensive.
You think it goes down in price?
Probably.
I think that through the used market, probably.
But there's the brand new one for $139 at nibs.com.
Oh, that's true.
So I don't know. I don't know. I think the book is a lot of work, lots of photography, and it's going to be a short run in today's world. It's not going to be a Harry Potter selling book. So how do you make up? It's a significant investment to make this book.
Well, and they're doing 4 different versions of. Well, I should clarify that. All the versions will have the same content, but they'll have a different cover. Each edition, let's call it, is limited to 1,000 copies. So they're only doing 4,000 prints total. I mean, $350. I have no idea how long it would take them to put this together, how much money and effort went into it. But I mean, if you're looking for knowledge of Japanese pens, I wouldn't know where else to go. I've tried searching on the internet, and man, information is not very good out there. Either that, or I just don't know how to find it.
No, it's not out there. Not the kind of information that you'll find in this book. So if you have any interest at all in Japanese fountain pens, this is the book you'll want. It will have, I'm sure, everything you need to know. I just don't need to know.
The reason we posted this is because they now have a website for this book, and it includes short bibliographies about the 2 authors. They have some high-res pics of pages inside the book, and man, on the cover, there's that Parker dual fold. That's like what is that? Abalone laid over the entire pen.
Is it not gorgeous?
It is extremely gorgeous. I don't even want to know what the price would be on that.
No, we couldn't afford it.
It probably put the Alchemist to shame, I bet.
No, I don't think it's as much as that.
Don't think so?
No, $20,000, $30 at the most for this pen.
All right.
But and quote me on that. So you go find out now.
All right.
And then we have TWSBI.
Yeah. I love the way they do business.
I like it too.
They show us design ideas, pictures of models, and they ask us for our opinion on them. And then when they get to the next step where they actually are testing prototypes, they take pictures and show us. And that's what they've done with the Diamond 850. Now, this is the the metal pen and the Diamond series, we have no idea when it's going to be released. No. But what they've done is they've taken a picture of 2 steel barrels, which I speculated to be a cap and the actual barrel for the pen, and they just took a picture and showed us what they look like, and they're going to start doing some testing on these. So it's good to know that this pen is still in the pipeline, progress is being made, and I cannot wait for this to come out.
And what I like, I'm not going to buy this pen, or at least based on the pictures that I've seen of it so far, and I'm not a huge fan of all metal pens, but I do really appreciate the fact that they include us in all the production.
I predict that you will buy this.
Oh, you predict that? Are you going on record?
Yes, I will.
Yeah, it's April Fool's. So
No. I predict that you will buy this.
All right. Well, I'm now, just because you said that, I'm not going to.
It's just going to be it's going to be a pen spite war. Yes, it's like when it comes out, you'll be like, "Damn, I love that pen, but I can't buy it now."
Well, I'm going to have to buy it anyways because we're going to review it. So.
Oh no.
Well, don't send it to Eric. Okay, that's an order.
Oh, wait a minute. I might borrow the pen. I said I would never buy the pen. Borrowing.
Oh, well, there you go. That's total cheating.
Is that cheating? There is a pen that I recently purchased.
Oh, what would that be?
The one that's on your screen right now, the Micarta.
Yeah.
And mine will be here tomorrow. I predict that mine will be here tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, because you live like 4 hours away from the shipping.
2 hours at most.
2, okay.
If it's not here by noon, I'm going to drive to them.
I was going to say, I would have driven Friday night and got it. But yeah, we were expecting these to go on sale Saturday, and they actually went live Friday evening. I kind of expected they would. So Friday morning, I was actually hitting their store just to see if it would show up. And let's see, I got home from the gym, I believe around 6-ish, and checked it, and they were live. I immediately bought 2 of them because I couldn't decide to get one with a clip or without. So I just bought one of each, and I can't wait for it to come in.
Well, yours will probably be there, what, Tuesday?
Probably.
Tuesday. Okay. How many did you buy, Brian?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
I'll probably wait for the next pen show. I'll probably get one in Chicago, quite honestly. This is a cartridge converter, right?
It is.
It's a converter.
Okay. Sorry.
I've looked, and it doesn't really say cartridge anywhere.
All right. It says ink converter mechanism traditional.
Yeah.
Right.
Which might be a piston. Because the traditional converter is okay, we won't go there.
But there's a lot of mixed feelings about this pen. I just kind of assume it has the TWSBI name on it. People are going to go nuts over it, and their store would probably crash when people found out it was live. But that's not the case at all. A lot of people just don't get this pen, and they almost seem to be offended that it's cost $100.
Well, it's not 105,000. That's Micarta.
Well,
I don't know. Is it Micarta an expensive material?
Not necessarily,
more than
but
injection plastic.
Yes,
well, I think that if you really look at this, obviously this is machined.
Yes, that's where the cost comes in.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I don't know, but I'm speculating that the TWSBIs that we know and love, the piston fillers, those are all injection molded. So you do those in mass, you do them at a lower cost to manufacture. They are machining this. Obviously I machine things, and that's why, that's one of the reasons. It takes a long time to make a pen as opposed to a injection molded process where you just pop 2 plates together and you pop 100 pens out. I'm not saying it's that easy, of course. I don't know a lot about injection molding, but I'm sure that has a lot to do with the price on this pen, and that sounds pretty reasonable to me.
All right.
And I mean, we've even got people in chat now saying that the pen is ugly. It looks like badly bonded fiberglass, and this material is coming out raw. I mean, they're not doing a whole lot to finish it. The look is going to come. I don't know if any of you have seen the pen that Speedy has, that he's had for a while, but it looks a lot different than the brand new pen. And I think after several months of using it, it is going to look gorgeous, and it's going to have a lot of character to it.
Patina.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, so it wears in well, that we're hoping. And this is untested, really. I mean, except for Speedy's, no one has had one of these for any length of time.
Right. And the price is another issue. I mean, what do you guys think about the price for this?
I think for a pen that is not injection molded, okay, I'm fine with the price. And it's a Bach nib. The nib's going to be fine. I'm not going to complain about the price.
Well, there was another website that I was at, and they were exclaiming how the Diamond 530, when it came out, it was $40, and it's a piston filler, and it's a demonstrator, and it's like, all right, well, that pen is now the 540, which is basically the same thing, just a few minor updates. It's now a $50 pen, and the color demos are $55. I can almost guarantee you the VAC 700 will not be $50 or $55. I'm expecting to pay $80 or more for that, just so my hopes don't get shattered. But
well, I'm guessing too, but I would say I'm stepping on you, aren't I? I don't know.
No, and it's fine. And the Click coming out is certainly not going to be less than $100. Probably the only thing that's going to be around that $50 price point is the Diamond Mini. And so I don't think it's fair for people just to expect that price point out of every pen they make. I mean, I want something different than that 540.
Right, and this is definitely different.
Absolutely, and it's not like this is the path that TWSBI is going on now. I mean, this is just a different path. How many other pens really have this kind of unique, different material?
A micarta pen? A pen made of micarta? I can't think of a one.
Neither can I.
No, I mean, they're on, the handles of knives?
Yeah, they're used a lot in the handles of knives.
I think it's a good choice. Obviously, they're testing the market to see if a pen made of micarta is going to be a seller. And I don't know, are they sold out already? They had a small supply for the first batch.
Yeah, I think it was just around 1,000 pens. I haven't checked to see what they're saying at the store, but I would doubt they're sold out. I've been seeing a few reports of people, when they order them, they get an order number. They're like 130 or 150 or...
Oh, okay. So they're not going to... If those numbers are... But we don't know. Each person's going to order a dozen, which I doubt.
Yeah.
Well, actually, while we're talking about the store, I had a little trouble ordering on the store.
Oh, you did?
Yes. They announced and that they were going to open the store and sell these on... what was it, Saturday? That the store was going to open and that they would sell the micartas beginning Saturday. So I went to the store and I made an account and I gave them my billing address and my shipping address and my credit card. So I was all ready because I wanted to make sure I got one of these pens. Then when I saw that they were available, I went, I ordered it, I was trying to check out, filled everything out, which was mostly just clicking because everything was pre-filled in, and it kept telling me that the merchant does not accept this credit card. It was my American Express. So apparently they don't take American Express, but their store lets you put it in there. So I don't know what that was. I had to check out with PayPal.
And now that you say that, I was having the same problems with Visa, so I used PayPal and it worked just fine.
But it's I'm just going to chalk that up to the store just opened and there's probably some bugs that they still have to work out. And I wanted a pen. No, actually, I had given up. I tried twice. I gave up. Then Dan texted me and said, "What kind of pen did you get?" And I said, "I didn't. It won't take my credit card." He says, "Use PayPal." I said, "Okay." That's how that happened. So, anyway,
I'm really excited for this pen. I love the gold clip and the contrast with the maroon / burgundy color. But
I think that overall it's going to be polarizing. People will either love it or they're going to hate it.
And that definitely seems to be what we're seeing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I really can't say. I've never seen one in real life. I just know I have to have one, and I have to base my opinion based on what I see. What else? The other thing I haven't seen in real life that I know I already love is a white Noodlers Ahab.
Oh my gosh! I will order one as soon as it is available.
I
heard about
half
this.
a dozen for myself. What I love about Noodlers is that I like the shape, I like the design, I like the thickness, I like the utility, and I love the price point. I just love it.
Yes. $25, really? Like, for this awesome of a pen?
Aren't they 20? They're 20 at Goulet's, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
So, I mean, there's no beating it.
It's even better.
And a white one, it just sit right next to my black one.
Absolutely. I love it.
John the Monkey named the white one the Whale or something, as I recall.
Yeah, it must be called the White Whale.
You have an Ahab, don't you, Mr. Gray?
I do. I told the Goulets to put one on my account, and they sent me one. I'll be honest though, I got it. The nib was actually splayed in the wrong direction, so it was skipping really bad. And I'll confess that I haven't touched it since. As far as I haven't adjusted it to get it writing well. I've tested the flex. It's about what I expected from the like inexpensive steel flex, but which is great. We've gone through this topic before. Having an inexpensive pen that you can experience flex is a wonderful thing. But obviously, it's not quite the same as like vintage wet noodle or even what a modern 14 karat gold nib can do.
No, and I have one Ahab that I use quite often. It's a black one, and I took the nib out and then replaced it with a Knox nib. I don't know if everybody knows what a Knox nib is. Knox is, I don't believe they're the manufacturer, but they're the people who sell these $7.50 nibs.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So, and I'm happy.
So this went for over 900. What was the final price on the
I'm
bid
not
here?
even going to go look.
Well, yeah,
really?
Eric bowed out after it hit 900. So yeah, I mean,
Well,
So
like
I guess
what I said in the article, I still stand by. For that kind of money, I could get a $20 Noodlers and a $6 can of spray paint.
So to get the whole story, we should click the link at the bottom of the page, right?
I'm not going there.
you could probably
All right.
check out and see what it sold for. But
So if people are wondering, this is just baffling, just make sure to click the link at the bottom of the page.
Yeah.
Let's go on.
Let's go on to. I want to know something from you, Mr. Gray. Did they tell you?
Yes.
Did the Goulets tell you this was happening?
now hold on, Rachel's in chat.
Well,
Oh, is she?
what
She
what
is.
time is it in France?
Maybe she can comment.
Bonjour, Rachel. Comment ça va? Oh, she's not going to. So, hello, Rachel. I'm glad you're here. But I want to know, Brian, did they tell you? You're very close with the Goulets.
Yeah, as soon as they made this announcement, I really was hoping that Staples would honor, the Edison/Goulet relationship, and I'm still in talks with them.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Then I've got
there.
3 packages coming from the Goulets website. I hope not only that they will arrive, but that they're packaged as well as the Goulets used to do it.
Aren't
and
they?
I have to-
Aren't they already? They're already at their chateau, though, aren't they? How did they ship it? Oh, they're employees. I got you. Their employees are probably
I
still-
imagine Staples is going to ship it now. And I have to confess
gotcha.
something. Something is terribly, terribly wrong with me. It's even worse than we previously thought, gentlemen.
People are buying this, aren't they?
A couple of nights ago, I dreamt I was online shopping at gouletpens.com. Now, why am I dreaming about this?
They have a hold on you.
I don't know what it is.
Like
it's
no
an
other.
addiction of some kind. I can't even escape them at night. Anyway, I hope they're very happy in France. I sure like the picture of their castle.
Oh my gosh, it is gorgeous.
That looked like something we could really use as FPGeeks compound. Hey, maybe we can rent it for Camp Edison.
Now you realize that it was only like literally maybe 2.5 years ago that Brian started this as one man in a one-car garage, and now he's at a chateau in France. Is that
Chateau
phenomenal?
Goulet?
Chateau Goulet.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal,
Unbelievable.
and I wish them all the best. Absolutely. And I'm going to go visit. As soon as I get my invitation, I don't even know if I have to wait for an invitation. I'm just going to go hunt them down. And
You know what I'm going to start hunting?
probably you're going to camp out at McDonald's or something.
Yes, I am going to be their new best customer
Because
Twisby Minis are going to debut in Happy Meals, apparently.
yeah, I think that's absolutely fantastic. Not only because the minis will come out, but because that they will be put into the hands of children. And we really have to get kids using fountain pens. Andrew uses a fountain pen, doesn't he?
He does, and as soon as I think he's going to be bugging me to go to McDonald's for this.
Yeah, no, it's a good reason. Dan, I saw your comment on this. It said that this is going to make you eat at McDonald's again. Had you boycotted McDonald's? Because I've been with you.
I mean, I
at
wouldn't call it
McDonald's.
a boycott, but I very rarely eat there. I mean, when it's
When it's
a road trip
right.
and it's convenient,
No, I don't boycott them, but it's the circumstances have to be special. And when the Twisby Minis are in those Happy Meals, I'm going to be I got a dozen kids. I need 12 of them, please. So,
Absolutely.
What's that going to cost? Less than $100
when
bucks.
I
You
was
get
a
12?
kid, I used to eat there every Saturday, and I think I might have to start that again. I got to make sure I collect all the colors of the mini.
Yeah, several.
If you supersize it, do you get a 540?
We'll have to ask.
Ooh.
We'll have to call Philip and ask that.
They need
All
to
right.
do that.
And then sad news.
Oh,
At least
this is terrible.
Sad news for people who like to handwrite the hand address.
I'm going to have to buy my parents a computer now and a printer.
Actually, your comment on that was great too, because somebody. The story is that the U.S. Postal Service is going to stop accepting hand-addressed mail as of January 1st, 2013. And somebody had left a comment saying that means we're not going to get any more mail from Mom and Dad who don't own a computer. And Dan says, is that such a bad thing? Which was, you put a smile face at the end of it, of course.
Yeah.
That was a good comeback.
But, now, there's going to be tech support, and they're going to be calling me all night, and it's just, terrible. I hate the post office now.
This doesn't bother me a bit because I've got a label maker on the way anyways.
Oh,
no big deal.
No big deal.
Yeah, I can deal with this.
Is it from Staples? Is it going to be packaged well?
That's true. You know what? It'll take me a half hour to open the darn thing.
All right.
Oh, and then the Waterman inks.
I cannot believe they're changing the names again. I'm not buying any more of their
I am
ink.
finally happy with their ink names. I am finally happy with it.
Well, I think I'm just going to start buying that ink now. I mean, because what? So black, it was black and then intense black, and now it's Aurora black.
Aurora black,
which
yes.
I think that's perfect. I like that.
And Dan, you ought to put the link up in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Or did you? Sorry.
All right, there we go.
Yeah,
and
I don't know what else to say about Waterman.
It's just, this is unbelievable.
But I think these are the final name changes. I mean, there's no going back from here.
No, I don't think so. I mean, if they change names again, I think their marketing department just has nothing to do and needs to work.
At the very least, we keep talking about them.
Yeah, they do have that.
And isn't it?
The funny thing is, I will say this: I'm looking at Audacious Red, and I'm just wondering which one is the joke and which one is for real. Sorry, go ahead. Audacious Red, and I'm thinking that's real. I forgot that was the name for their red.
No, Omas Red is the real name now, if I recall. Yeah.
No, wait a second. All right, I get it. I'm sorry. Wait a second. No. The modern. I thought it was Audacious Red because you guys have Serenity Blue here as the modern name. Inspired Blue is a South Sea Blue. Is it Audacious Red or is it not? Because now I'm confused.
The vintage name was Red, and then Waterman changed it to Audacious Red, and now
for real.
Yes, for real. You don't know
and
about
now
that?
It's Omas Red.
And now people are buying Omas Red.
I gotcha.
Okay, that's the way it's going, at least according to that article. But speaking of red, let's talk about green.
I'm so sick of waiting on Lammy. I mean, this is ridiculous. They let out pictures.
They leak their pictures of the Safari.
Yeah, of the 2012 green Safari, their special color for this year. And we put it up. It gets crazy traffic like we've never seen before. And they call us the CEO of Filofax, the U.S. distributor.
The president of Filofax, who was very nice.
Oh, he was absolute gentleman.
Very nice, very polite.
He calls us, asked us to take it down. Lammy didn't want the picture out yet. So, of course, we obliged. Eric, explained it all very well at the website. And so we took it down. And over the next several weeks, I saw several more places on the internet start posting that picture. And I was like, all right, well, you know what? We're missing out on a lot of traffic. People want to see this. I'm going to go ahead and round up all these images and just throw them into that post. I've done that, and they haven't complained so far. And it turns out Noodler beat him to the punch.
Yes. It's not quite the same green, but it is a green, and it's a Granny Smith green, as in Granny Smith apple.
And I like it.
I like it too. And somebody, I think, left a comment. They think the pen is metal, like aluminum, which it isn't. But that would be cool, wouldn't it? If they could make an aluminum Noodlers Ahab.
Not bad.
I think that'd be awesome. I'd definitely buy it. I mean, what would they call it? Because let's see, the aluminum Safari is the All-Star, right?
Yes, I don't know. We'd probably have to. Well, I have no idea.
I'm sure Nathan could think of a really good something for it.
I'm just hoping Nathan makes a white one now. Oh, wait a minute. He is making a white one. That's right. Lost my train of thought. Speaking of Nathan, let's talk about Mr. Edison. How's that going?
This dude is crazy.
He's a little off his rocker, isn't he?
Well, you guys, whatever you say, it doesn't matter. Now, bear with me, because if you ask me, this is a genius idea, and I've gone through with this, and I've been on the phones with my attorneys, and they're all thumbs up about it. They say that it can happen. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's confirmed.
In the original filing, there was a lot of mistakes, right?
Well, exactly, and I've got it perfected, and that's the point. You know, that guy really didn't know what he was doing from the beginning, if you ask me. Although I will say, part of changing my name to Edison has a lot to do with my infatuation with him to begin with. And, you know, my wife and I sat down and we had a heartfelt talk, and we were wondering, you know, where will this go too far? Should I really change my name to Edison?
Hey, you only live once.
I think
you should have the name
and so
you want.
we both agreed that it's a good idea as long as it stops at that point. You know, I was thinking that maybe we should change my son's name to Alva. I think that's a decent idea.
Oh.
But
well, he's halfway there already. It starts with an A.
Well, I know, and that's why
okay.
It would be an easy adjustment. So I figure Alva would be very good for him. And then my wife is considering Mina.
Really?
Just
that'd be a cool name.
I know.
Cool name.
That's a very nice
Which
name.
means, of course, you're going to be
I
Thomas.
think so. Well,
we're going to keep Brian.
At that point, maybe it goes too far.
Oh, as soon as we get to your first name, it goes too far. Okay, I get it.
Yes, thank you.
Well, just, keep us posted how that goes. I'm sure you will be faced with lots of legal challenges to this patent. And I'm sure that'd be very costly. But as long as you keep making pens, we're happy for you.
You know, I've been visiting all these online patent things, where you can get your copyright done for $50. And they assure me that I'm set. They've got a copyright, they've got a patent. It only cost me $50. I'm golden. Trust me.
It's good to know that you're in good hands, Brian.
Yes, that's perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on.
Rocky, our FPGeeks special correspondent from the future, he wrote in a snail mail, a handwritten letter. He said, "Thank you for giving me the chance to win such an awesome prize. I think the Geek Challenge is an incredibly fun part of the show." And that's what we want to hear, because that's what it's supposed to be.
And obviously he wrote more than that. One of the things that I didn't put there for you to read was that as he closed his letter, he says something about, I reckon the next Geek of the Week should be a private collector or a calligrapher. And that struck me because I wasn't aware that Australians reckoned. I thought that all happened in the southern United States. I reckon I'll do this, and I reckon I have my druthers. But I guess they reckon. I don't know. I thought that was cool.
It's a good thing that he sent that when he did,
because
at this time next year, it wouldn't get through the postal service.
That's right. It was hand addressed.
Yeah,
right.
Now,
exactly.
But he sent it from Australia. I don't know. Is this worldwide? I'm sure they have to work all that out. They'll probably still accept mail from other countries, but the postage for those people is probably going to skyrocket.
I heard that they're going to have these fire pits outside, and anything that comes from another country or domestic is going to go right to the fire pit if it's handwritten.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Now,
Wouldn't doubt it at all.
I heard they were just going to get big dump trucks, throw all that mail in the bag, and drive it up and down the street and let it fly out, and whatever you get, you get.
Oh.
Sort of kind of
Hey, I didn't think about that.
you
More
can
rumors.
just go pick
More
the mail. I
rumors.
mean, I would obviously go for the biggest and heaviest packages, but
Whatever you get, you get. Then we got an email from Okami. Last podcast, or the podcast before that, I believe we talked about the Red Dot Award or honorable mention that Pelican got for their packaging that came with a pouch that holds 2 pens, but also contained a flaken of ink. And we kind of looked at each other via video and said, what in the world is a flaken? Well, she mailed us the definition. A flaken is the same as a flagon. And if you don't know what a flagon is, it's a small bottle or a flask that's stoppered. You can put a stop in it, like a cork or something. And
Can you put booze in it?
well, it doesn't matter what's in it.
All right, I'll take a flagon.
A flagon with a dragon. And as soon as I saw that, and I'm sure Julie has seen the movie, The Court Jester with Danny Kaye, because there is a famous scene that involves Danny Kaye and even who was Murder, She Wrote?
The actress? Oh, jeez,
How can we not know her name?
Yeah.
Angela Lansbury.
yeah.
Thank you.
About Danny Kaye was going to have a duel with some other knight, and obviously Danny Kaye was not going to win, so his friends were going to poison. They have a toast before they duel, but Danny Kaye had to remember which cup to drink from, and there was a whole rhyme, not even a rhyme, tongue twister going on, that the chalice from the palace had the pellet with the poison, and the vessel with the pestle had the brew, which is true. So he took a little time learning all that. And then he repeated it to somebody, and they said, yes, that's correct, but there's been a change. A change? Yes, they broke the vessel with a pestle and replaced it with a flagon, with the image of a dragon. It was, if you weren't there, you're not going to get this joke. You have to probably look on YouTube. I'm sure they have that scene on YouTube. Moving on.
Are you watching the chat now?
Who?
Because someone just said "moving on," and then you said "moving on." I think
you said that.
Moving on. I knew I was going too far, but this is for
mind.
Julie. Julie, I know she knows this movie, and she wrote this. This is not the first time she has sent us definitions of things. She keeps us on our toes. Elizabeth wrote with something very important, and I sounded like I chuckled there, but I didn't. Go ahead.
She's not very comfortable with being called a geek. She says, anything to promote the hobby, I guess. It's just an unfortunate description for a lot of us out here.
Right. She's not happy with the word geek, and I that's what I'm going to think about making next week's poll question. Brian, how do you feel about being a geek?
Honestly, I mean, like, now. First of all, I'm gonna be serious. She's honestly writing in and saying she seriously does not like that term and it's derogatory, or does she? It's just unfortunate that's what you guys chose. I guess I don't understand if she's really being serious.
She's being serious.
Okay. Well, I mean, honestly, like, I don't know. When I was when I was in like middle school and high school, I graduated in '91, so you can kind of do the math as to what when I grew up. Geek was a derogatory term, but I think, in the last 10, 15, 20 years, I think it's become like something that people have become proud of, and I think it's actually more complimentary. Look at the Best Buy has the Geek Squad. I think it's evolved into a term of endearment and a tongue-in-cheek type thing. It's like I'm proud to be a geek, and being a geek is cool and all that. I really think that's neat. I don't think that the term in any way is meant to be derogatory. I think it's tongue-in-cheek. I think it's fun, and I think it's cool also.
Well, it could be worse. I mean, we could have said.
Could we pick a different word?
Fountain pen nerds.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
nerd, when I think of the two, I think of a geek as someone who still has social skills. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they're very knowledgeable of one subject or something. Nerd I see is that.
Well, for me, yes, a nerd has no social skills. That's the difference.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I'm comfortable with the term geek. I think that, and I graduated just a couple of years before you did, Brian. It wasn't really a term of endearment, but it wasn't the biggest insult either to call somebody a geek.
Yeah, exactly.
And it has graduated to something better than it used to be. That's for sure. I think lots of people wear it as an honor badge. But there are still people who don't like it. And we met somebody in L.A., Brian. We were just leaving the restaurant, and somebody was waiting outside, and you introduced me, and we talked about being a geek, and he didn't really like the term geek. Do you remember who that was?
Oh, I know who you're talking about, yes.
Maybe we shouldn't name him, but you see, that kind of a reaction, some people are going to have that reaction. So I'm just wondering...
I wonder if it's generational, because that person who we're referring to is probably in his late 50s, middle 60s, I'm guessing. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's almost like a term of endearment, honestly. Like, man, you were so geeky for that. That's really a way of saying that's a compliment, if you ask me. You're really into something.
In my mind, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a cool way of saying what?
I think that 99% of people that come to the website understand completely that it's tongue in cheek and not meant to be, in any term derogatory. But
and I think 15, 20 years ago, geek and nerd were kind of the same.
Yeah.
And in that time, they've I think they've definitely forked, and there's a clear difference between the two, but that's just me.
Yeah, so, but, I didn't want to just ignore Elizabeth's concern, and it seemed like a valid email, and it's not the first time I've heard it, so I think I'll try to come up with a question just to poll our website visitors to see what they think.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, moving on.
Heading over to the forums.
Okay.
We had someone in there do a little ink comparison. Crazy Ivan. He determined that Iroshizuku Koni Peki is the same shade as Private Reserve Tropical Blue. And he's got a picture of the two right next to each other, and they look really, really close.
Really identical.
I don't think I could tell a difference.
Well, can I give my 2 cents on this?
No. Moving on.
As someone that makes and designs pens, trust me, there's only so many shapes out there. If you want to stay within tradition, or if you want to stay within the realm of what looks aesthetically good, and there's only so many shades of blue. I mean, do you guys think that this is coincidence, or do you think that there's some kind of a Pilot and Private Reserve conspiracy going on that we don't know about?
No. I mean, we've got a couple guys in the chat saying the flow is different. It's the Iroshizuku flow is better and things like that. And I would agree. I think the characteristics of Iroshizuku ink is going to be better than the majority of inks out there. And that's kind of what Crazy Ivan was saying in his post. He says, the pure tropical blue isn't very water fast, but it does shade the same way.
Okay.
And this is on Moleskine Pocket Graph too. So
yeah. Well, I will confess, I didn't read the thread. This is the first time that I'm seeing it. Is the point of this perhaps it's like a cost-effective alternative? I could see that being, an interesting point to this comparison.
Yeah. What is the point? Does anybody know?
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
I think it's just an observation.
Just an observation
from what I'm looking through here.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that Eric. Well, I think that both of you are huge fans of Iroshizuku, and I'll confess I have only used it. I've used it very, very little. I have used plenty of Private Reserve, but I don't think I've used Tropical Blue. But yeah, that's interesting.
I don't think it's a conspiracy in any way. I think with every how many manufacturers are making ink, and all of them are making blue. Some blue is going to look like somebody else's blue. How do you not do that?
Well, Eric, if I can say so,
no, you can't.
With all of the with all the April Fool's BS going on, that might have been tongue in cheek as well.
Was it?
I didn't think that there's really a conspiracy going on between Iroshizuku and Private Reserve or Pilot.
Well, maybe this whole post is just an April Fool's joke.
I think we've entered a different dimension.
Different dimension.
I can't read sarcasm and humor at all anymore.
Anything going on in the chat room? Any questions we need to answer on the air?
Yeah, there was one person that wanted to know from Brian what the final count on the LE pins
119.
Yeah, although I will, I'm going to get that for sure tomorrow, but I'm not positive.
Brian, you said that last week in your video announcement. Now the Goulays are in France. How are you going to get this number?
Yeah, exactly. But then, what happened is I think that there was one person that backed out, one person that I forget what all the details were. It's in the ballpark of 119. I think that there's around 40 cobalt, and the rest is all the beige black ebonite.
Wow, really? It was that lopsided, huh?
Yeah. Well, but there were also plenty of people that bought both too. So
was it 40 people who bought both? Does that mean everybody who bought the blue and also bought the ebonite?
No, not everybody. But there were probably 10 people that bought both pens.
10 people that bought both pens.
Interesting.
Yeah. Hey, there's a good question. When is the Edison FPGeeks LE edition coming out?
You're not supposed to read that.
Hey, come on.
All right, let's go to the Geek Challenge.
Wait a minute. Are we just going to ignore that question? We have no plans for a limited edition FPG.
Ryan, when are you releasing a piston filler?
Oh yeah, well that's coming this year supposedly.
I'm honestly hoping for the summer.
All right.
I've got a lot to get through in the next couple months. Are you yanking my chain now or what?
That'll be the earliest FPG Edison will arrive.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys thinking to make that the LE?
Well, if there is ever a limited edition Fountain Pen Geeks Edison pen, it would have to be a piston filler.
You know how much hate we give that.
If you guys are serious, let me get the pen engineered, and we'll find a special material for you, and we'll make that a FPGeeks limited edition pen.
All right, you heard it
Although
here first.
I don't know. I don't know that I can have such a derogatory term like geek engraved on my pens.
I don't know.
All right.
But we could do the
You notice how I'm
initials,
waggling my
FPG?
finger?
Is that waggling? Waggling.
That's
Waggling his finger. All right. Speaking of geeks, let's play the Geek Challenge, shall we? What are we going to give away this week? Oh, I know. I'm the one who picked it. It's a 5-pack of Hotel Mecca vintage design postcards from Everyday Correspondence. Is James in the James's Everyday Correspondence? Does James happen to be in our audience?
I don't think I've seen him.
Okay.
So I don't think so.
He is sometimes, and he is actually the one who sent me the letter that got us all started on the G. Lalo Verger de France paper. So if you go to everydaycorrespondence.com, he has a link to his... Is it Etsy? Are we saying Etsy? The Etsy store?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Where he's selling a few items, and one of them one of the items that he is selling are these postcards, vintage-looking Hotel Mecca postcards.
Cool.
So we're going to give away a 5-pack of those. We have 3 questions. They are all true or false. The caller, we're going to ask for a caller. Once we have a caller on the line, I'm going to ask these 3 true or false questions to Mr. Edison, Brian Gray himself. He can answer true or false. The caller can agree or disagree with him. The long and short of it is that the caller must get all 3 of these questions correct in order to win these postcards. Was I clear?
By the way, I just did get an email from my legal team. It's no longer Gray, it's Edison. So don't even say Gray from now on.
Thomas
you got it?
or Brian?
I'm just going with Brian Edison. How's that?
What's the W?
The funny thing is,
what's
actually,
the W?
without joking, Wade.
Wade. Okay.
Yeah.
Without joking.
Not joking at all. There are a lot of people that assume that my name is Brian Edison just because it's the Edison Pen Company. So I guess that would be an easy transition for me anyway.
For a full year.
Did you really?
I thought that. Yes.
Really?
The first time I saw you in L.A. until the next show, I thought that was Brian Edison.
That's all right. I do get that a lot, actually.
Yeah. Okay, so
all right,
we need a caller.
Let's go.
You're ready, Mr. Edison?
I'm set.
Now remember,
Mr.
the
Schneider.
caller, you'll hear the caller, but the caller will not hear you, so I'll be the go-between, because we haven't figured this technicality out yet. We can barely get your own sound on the air. I am at 909-647-5056. Shall we twiddle our thumbs while we wait for a caller? What happens if nobody calls? That's going to happen someday.
Really? You think so?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Just
if
wait.
people are too afraid. Well,
We've got, quite a few viewers right
now.
now.
The questions are difficult this week. Somebody's calling.
I could have my wife call in since your guys' harassing phone calls have been on the caller ID.
Hey, now that's not us. That's
okay, but
the
you have
Nibs
to turn
unit.
the sound down on your computer.
We have no control over what they do, man.
Those are the
tried.
true. Those are the geeks in the true derogatory sense of the word. Correct?
Yeah, it's the noteworthy International Bureau of Science. We have no control over what they do. It's like
the microphone. Okay.
Oh man, they burn through funds, like crazy, and we try and get them in order and line them up,
we have a caller on the line. Caller, what's your name? I forgot to ask.
Steven from Silver Spring.
Steven, how are you today, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm great. As I said, Mr. Edison will be able to hear you, but you won't be able to hear him. I'll pass any information along. Are we ready for our first question?
I am.
Okay, Mr. Edison is ready, so I'll ask it. True or false?
Yes, sir.
The U.S. Postal Service will stop accepting hand-addressed mail as of January 1, 2013.
True, absolutely.
Mr. Edison says that's true, absolutely. Stephen, what is your answer?
Oh, yeah, I agree. That's true.
You agree it's true that the U.S. Postal Service will stop accepting hand-addressed mail as of January 1, 2013?
Yeah,
Let's change the answer to false.
Okay. Question.
Tell him April Fools.
Yeah, that was it. But he's answering April Fools. He's just playing the game with us.
Oh,
right?
I didn't hear that part. I'm sorry.
No, this is like a mind trick played on a mind trick.
Yeah,
another mind trick. Oh, I'm so confused right now.
Okay, the next question. True or false? TWSBI has announced that the TWSBI Mini will debut as a Happy Meal toy. Mr. Edison?
See, now the neat thing about this is there's no right or wrong answer. I can't, I can just say whatever I want, and if it's incorrect, then I can just say, well, April Fools. I'm going to say that is false. I'm just going to randomly pick one or the other.
Mr. Edison randomly picked false for that. Stephen, is it true or false? TWSBI has announced that the TWSBI Mini will debut as a Happy Meal toy.
It's false.
That is false. Stephen says that is false. Now, here's the hard one. Here's the hard one, and I think everybody who's listening to me has to pay attention to this because it's coming out of left field.
Okay.
True or false? Despite the fact that Waterman has forced us to adopt new names for their inks, their own website, waterman.com, still uses the old ink names. True or false?
I'm being totally serious. I'm going to guess true.
Mr. Edison is being totally serious and guessing true. Stephen, what do you think? Did you understand the question? It was rather long.
I understood. Okay. I have no idea, so I'm going to go with Mr. Edison.
And you are completely correct to go with Mr. Edison because it is true. The Waterman.com website still uses the old ink names. Gentlemen, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to say goodbye to Stephen here. Just a moment.
What is going on over there? I mean, so they're in France. Do they just drink all day, come up with these new names, and then forget to update the website? I mean,
oh, you see, the funny thing is, I thought you were referring to the Goulets. I thought because they were already at their chateau, you know.
They're probably hammered right now. I mean,
you know,
all right, I'm back.
I honestly, I don't know. The inks didn't change at all, but from a strictly marketing standpoint, we're all talking about Waterman. So you know, no publicity is bad publicity, is what they say.
Wait till we start talking about
someone
Edison.
just said Sacre Bleu.
Sacre Bleu.
That's what they should call the Serenity Blue. Sacre Bleu.
Oh yes,
that's great.
Well, yeah, if they want to change that name, you know, the one name change. I've spent years telling people my favorite blue is Florida blue, and now I have to learn a new name for that, which I'm not happy about. And I also like the name South Sea blue, but the best name they had was Havana Brown. Havana Brown, it just evokes something something about the word. You want to use it because of the name.
Well, Havana makes you think of cigars, anyways, and brown. It drove me crazy too because I just recently got my bottle of Serenity Blue, and every time that I tune up a nib and I sign it at the bottom to the customer, I sign Waterman Florida Blue and Clairefontaine paper or Rhodey or whatever I'm using, and now I've got to change this around to Serenity, and I
don't think you should. I don't think you should. It wasn't your.
Just make it Florida.
Yeah, it's Florida. It will always be Florida Blue to me.
Alrighty.
And apparently it's still Florida Blue to Waterman, since Waterman.com still has it listed that way.
I'll go by their website. Someone also just said Serenity Now.
Oh, such a good episode.
That's a good one. Do you get that, Eric, or no?
No, but it's come up. It's come up so often. I understand that it's
Serenity Now is a Seinfeld reference. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
We never did explain to him the 88 mile an hour thing.
No, you didn't do that one for me either. But
that was another one that was lost on. How can you not get an 88 mile per hour reference? And you grew up in my generation too. We're about the same age, aren't we?
I'm 9 years your elder, so I don't know.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
No. Okay, well then Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future. You never saw that movie?
Oh, of course. I saw it. I don't have it memorized, though.
Well, he traveled back in time as soon as he hit 88 miles an hour.
Oh, was that the...
It's a
and then we were talking about time travel.
Everybody knows what 88 miles per hour means.
Okay, that'll be
the
next... Really? Okay.
Yes, it's a pop culture...
Yes, but I'm not up on pop culture. I'm really not up on pop culture, and I don't commit those things to memory. I don't. You're lucky, gentlemen, that I remember your names, and it's only because I have them written down here on my screen.
Hey, don't forget, it took me about 2 weeks to stop calling Dan Eric and Eric Dan, so you guys are lucky that I'm doing really well compared to how I usually screw up names.
We still talk about that behind your back. Anyway.
I'm sure you do. It's all right.
I'm declaring Stephen a winner at this game. I'm saying that he was playing our little April Fool's Day joke on us with the first question, and I'm glad that all of us got the third question correct. See if there's any more questions in the audience, and I'll read off how people can contact us. We are, if you want to contact us by email, it's podcast@fpgeeks.com. Our phone number is 415-685-GEEK. That's 415-685-4335. We are on Twitter, twitter.com/fpgeeks, facebook.com/fpgeeks. We're on the web, fpgeeks.com, and we have a forum, fpgeeks.com/forum. We can also accept your handwritten letters if you send them to Fountain Pen Geeks, P.O. Box 499, Highland, California, 92346. Any last-minute questions?
I've got nothing.
Nothing. All right, then I guess still nothing?
Nope.
All right.
Not a single thing.
And it's time to say farewell. Happy April Fool's Day. And remember, don't write like Brian.
Don't miss references to easy social norms like Eric.
You're supposed to say Dan so he can throw it back at me.
Dan,
You're so fired, Gray.
Sorry. I'm never welcome back again.
And don't waste paper like Eric.
Yeah, because I'm the paper waster. Anyway, that's our show for tonight. Thank you for listening to both programs, and we will see you
Thanks a lot, everybody.
next